Motivations Live. Don't you wanna talk and now, about it? Let's talk Miss J Spider. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Fill Up Friday Live. I am Mrs. J Spire, and I am the host and CEO of J Spirations Live LLC. So, tonight, welcome to Fill Up Friday. I am so excited that you guys are here. We are a little behind tonight. We had some technical difficulties, but anytime we have technical difficulties, it's just a confirmation that we are going to have an amazing night, that we are going to have an amazing show. So I'm so excited that you guys are here. Please begin to drop in the comments, say hello, let us know that you are here, and let us know where you guys are listening from. Hey Tracy, happy Fill Up Friday. Welcome to Fill Up Friday Live. I'm so glad that you are here. So listen, this is your first time, so we want to say welcome to you. All the folks that come on every Friday night, we call them Fill Up Friday Faithfuls, and so we hope that you will become a Fill Up Friday Faithful as well. So listen, it has been an absolutely amazing week. I hope you guys have had an amazing week as well. I want to take some time to talk about what Fill Up Friday is, talk about what we do, talk about why we do it, and really talk about how we can benefit from it, how you guys can benefit from it. Hey, LaShonda. So we started Fill Up Friday as a way for us to come together on Friday nights and really just talk about what we've gone through throughout the week, what we filled up on. And if you didn't fill up on anything, we want to talk about what did you need that you did not get. And so the purpose is that by the end of the night, by the end of the conversation, that you will leave full if you came empty. And if you came full, then you will leave full with the capacity to go out to share, to spread good news, to spread motivation, and to practice self-care. So again, I'm so excited. So what we usually do is we really just talk about what was shared throughout the week on Jspirations Live. We talk about what we posted and why we posted it. So I just want to start out by saying that this week has been phenomenal for me. I started a new position, doing some different things, some new things in my life, and this has probably been the most stress-free week that I have had, and I don't know how long. Like, my hair is not even done tonight, just because I've just had one of those weeks where I've just been moving through life just free, just giving my brain some time to breathe, giving my brain some time just to relax. And so that's what I filled up on this week. I really filled up on just relaxing, just reflecting, just knowing that God keeps his promises, knowing that, the process doesn't always look pretty, right? But that the end result is that, and I've been saying for a while, is that a butterfly is a butterfly. Even when we see it as a caterpillar, it is still a butterfly. That's the destiny, right? That's what God has prepared it to be. That's why it was born. That's its purpose. And so I'm so excited. I've had a couple people that I've seen that I usually see every week, and I've seen them this week, and they were like, you look so stress free, you look well rested. And I'm just really thankful for that, because it has really been one of those weeks where I have just been stress free. Right. And so even though tonight my hair may not be done, right, we may have started late, but I feel good in my body. I feel good in my mind. I feel good emotionally. And so I'm just excited about what God has done in my life, and just being able to feel this way, right? Just being able to live freely. And to relax. Thank you so much, Latoya. And my sister's on tonight too, Jeannie, from North Carolina. So it makes my heart feel good that all of my people are on tonight. It has just been an amazing week, and I hope that you guys have had an amazing week as well. And with that being said, please go ahead and drop into the comments what you filled up on this week. And if you didn't get what you need, let us know what you need. We're going to have a conversation around that. We want to ensure that when you leave tonight, that you are full. You're going to be able to pull from the Fill Up Friday faithfuls, right? That is the purpose. Miss Donna is on here. That's my work mama. And she said that I'm filling up on letting God take control. Miss Donna, if you can just drop in the comments and let me know if I can share some of what you guys have gone through this week. And Jeannie, if you can drop in the comments if I can share a little bit of what you guys have gone through this week, not telling all of the business, but just touching on how good God is. A few weeks ago, we talked about saying yes to God in waiting, in the waiting period, right? So we talked about, like, lots of times that, when we'll say yes to God when he tells us to do something, right? We think it's time to move and it's time to go. So we're like, yes, because we're ready to go. But then sometimes when we're in that waiting period, we don't want to say yes, right? Because sometimes when God doesn't say yes right away, we automatically think that it's a no, right? But we know that no doesn't mean that we're being denied. The no that he gives us, or the time that he allows us to wait, it's all intentional and it's all purposeful. So Miss Donna and I, we've been knowing each other for so long. I call her my work mama, and I love her and her family, and I love her husband. And so Mr. Dave has been having some health challenges over the last few months, and he was supposed to have surgery, and someone else came into the hospital. There was a couple emergencies, right, that came in, that didn't allow him to have the surgery on the day that it was planned. But then, and Miss Donna, let me know, because but I think it was yesterday that he actually had his surgery, right? And so I saw Miss Donna's post where she really was just talking about, even though she didn't put it all out there like that, but she was talking about that waiting period, because that wasn't the time. The time that Mr. Dave had that surgery, that was the time that God had predestined it to happen, right? Not when the doctor said that there was time to do it, right? Not when they said we're going to do it at this day and this time. That was man's plan, right? Of when they had time, when they could fit it in, when they could get it done, based on all the things that was happening in the hospital. But God had other plans. And what we have to know is that when we are able to say yes to God in that waiting period, that everything's intentional and it's purposeful and it's going to work out. See, God needed the exact doctors, he needed the exact nurses, he needed the exact people in that space to do what he needed to do for Mr. Dave. Even though as humans, as the flesh, we want everything to happen right now. We want it to happen expeditiously. We want it to be fast, because God, we can't deal with it. We can't take it. It's taking too long. If we don't do it, what's going to happen? But God is telling us to wait and be patient in him. that he knew all these things were going to happen before the foundation of the earth. He knew all these things were going to happen when we were in our mother's womb. He knew all the things that was going to happen when he breathed breath into our body and when he wakes us up every day. He already knows what's going to happen. See, we're walking around trying to anticipate when it's going to happen, why it's going to happen, who's going to do it, why is it taking this long, how much is it going to cost, right? God has already paid it all and he already knows. So we have to learn how to be faithful like he's faithful. We have to learn how to be patient like he's been patient with us. We have to learn how to walk in the expectation that he does all things well, right? And that surgery was supposed to happen when it happened. And so right now he is recovering, right? He's doing well, not because what the doctors has said, but because what God has already said. See, we try to go around him, we try to go above him, we try to go over him. We can't. We have to allow him to walk it through with us. And we have to actually walk it through with him because he's going to take us through it. And Miss Donna says she's been at peace all week. More God and less me. Absolutely. And so that's her testimony, and that's going to be her testimony to tell and to share all the details. But as I watched her this week on Facebook book posting, and as we have talked over the last few weeks, I could tell that she was at peace because I know that she trusts God. And I know that she knows that we do all things, he does all things well. And then there was a personal situation in my particular family where we thought something was going to happen, right? And we were excited about it and we were in preparation for it. And then it didn't happen, right? But it didn't happen then because that's not when it was supposed to happen, right? Because when it happens, again, it's going to be intentional. It's going to be the right time. It's going to be God's time. And we have to learn how to just walk in that. I'm gonna go back really quick and just try to check and see what everybody's saying. But when I came on tonight, I said, God, like, I'm not even really sure what I'm going to be talking about, but I know that I wanted to share how stress-free I've been this week. And I've been so stress-free because definitely has been days where I was asking God, like, what's happening? What are you doing? Right? Like, how long is it just gonna, is it gonna take? Right? But I was still walking in expectation that it was going to happen. I was just being a little like uneasy about it, right? But he does all things well because there's a lot of things that I wanted to do because I just wanted to kind of get out. But he wanted to be able to release me into a space that was going to be beneficial for me. Now, there's lots of things that he can do. There's things that we ask for, and he can give it to us, right? Because we keep asking and we keep nagging and we want it right now. And he can give that to us, but he wants to give us the best. He's capable of giving us whatever our heart desires. But he wants us to have the best of everything, the best surgeon, the best nurse, the best job, the best friend, the best husband, the best wife, the best place to live. He wants us to have the best. And that's when we trust him and we believe him. It's so many of us, we started off in a 1-bedroom apartment, and then God elevated us and we went to a 2. Right. And then maybe we went from a 2 to a 3, and maybe we were not in a house. Right. But that's still elevation. And then now we're in houses. And it's because he's showing us, if you just trust me, if you just wait patiently, just say yes to me, even in the waiting period, I want the best for you. And I am going to give you the desires of your heart. Listen, I'm just so thankful for the stress that I don't have this week. I'm just so thankful for the open mind. I'm so thankful that I've been able to experience his grace and his mercy this week, that I've been able to experience his favor and his love, right? He's just been so amazing, and he always is, right? But he just kept reminding me all week that a butterfly is always a butterfly, even when we see it as a caterpillar. a few weeks ago, probably about a month and a half now, maybe even two. I was out at the soccer field with some of the parents, and we were out there waiting for other parents to come, and we were just talking. And there was a butterfly that landed on my car, and the butterfly wouldn't move, and it stayed there while I took pictures. And I was like, y'all, this butterfly, this is weird. This butterfly is just, it's not going anywhere. And we talked about it and we laughed it off, and that was it. Well, last night I was out at the soccer field again, and I was talking to one of the same moms. We're always chatting it up and having a good time, and a butterfly just kept coming and landing on her. It landed in her hair several times. It landed on her arm. It landed on her back. And even when I got close enough to it to take a picture, it still wouldn't fly away. And we started talking about like what's up with this butterfly and what does it mean. And I think this was the first time that I actually, even though God's been dealing with me about butterflies since like 2019, this is the first time that I actually really took the time to look up, like, what does it mean when a butterfly lands on you? Of course, I know the process of how a butterfly becomes a butterfly and all the stages that it has to go through. But when we read it last night, it said a new beginning. And both she and I, we made some changes in our lives, and we're doing something new. And we just talked about it. And of course, I shared about, and back in 2019, God gave me beauty, boldness, and butterflies. Didn't really know what it meant. Had a program prepared and scheduled for March of 2020. And then COVID happened and we couldn't have it. About a year later, I started my radio show, and God said, you have to talk about, your topic is beauty, boldness, and butterflies. And I was like, God, I really don't even know what that means. So what am I going to talk about? And so I began to research the process of, what a caterpillar or what a butterfly goes through so that we can actually see it as a butterfly. And I went through that process to read about it. And then we had the show, and the show was amazing. But it kept coming back and coming back and coming back. And then as we started to, some things happened in my life, and the butterfly just kept coming back. The thought of the butterfly, the word butterfly, beauty, boldness, and butterfly. And I'm thinking, God, what is this? And at some point, as I was grieving and going through the process of things, it looked really ugly. Right. I wasn't sure how I was going to get out, get through it, when I was going to get through it, what was going to happen, because in my mind, it was just like, there's no way that I'm going to get through this. Right. It's not going to be easy. It's not pretty at all. And that's when God started telling me that the process doesn't look pretty, but a butterfly is always a butterfly. And so that's why I always say a butterfly is always a butterfly, even when we see it as a caterpillar. Walking through life, sometimes we feel like we're caterpillars. We're on our bellies. We're in vulnerable situations. We feel like we're in vulnerable spaces, right? Every time with the butterfly, with the caterpillar, somebody can step on it at any time. As kids, when we saw them, it's a caterpillar, and we would step on them. Or sometimes we would pick them up and we would hold them and we would play with them any kind of way, not taking any concern for, it being vulnerable and it being delicate, right? We were kids. And even as an adult, you probably stepped on one, driven over one, plucked one off of your car, whatever. And so they're always in vulnerable spaces and vulnerable places, right? But their goal is to make it through the entire process, because it knows that its destiny is to be a beautiful butterfly, right? And that it has wings, and it's supposed to fly. And so all week, that's what's been in me. Again, God just keeps giving it to me. And then as I was leaving last night, after we had finished our conversation and the butterfly had flown away, when I went to my car, the butterfly was just sitting at the top of my car where the door is. And I just begin to say, God, I thank you, because every day he gives us reminders. We have to be open to seeing them. We have to understand that it may not be easy getting there, but that God has already given us a destiny. And a butterfly is a butterfly is a butterfly, right? before we can see it, it already sees itself as a butterfly. And so tonight I'm encouraging you to see yourself the way that God sees you. Right? I would call myself a motivational speaker before anybody else called me a motivational speaker. I would call myself a radio show host, a talk show host, a television show host, because that's what I saw in myself even as a young child. Right? Never been afraid to speak in front of people, to go places, to do things. Right? People would call me mouthy. You're always talking, but it was my destiny. And I couldn't allow anybody else to talk me out of it. Right? Because we are who God says that we are, regardless of what other people see us as. And so you call yourself who you are. And right now, I'm calling myself a butterfly. Why? Because I'm beautiful and I'm bold and I have many colors and I'm good on the eyes and I've gone through the process, and the process may not have looked good, but I'm a butterfly. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a talk show hostess. I'm a radio show hostess. Why? Because that's who God has called me to be. It doesn't matter how old you get. It doesn't matter how rough things get or how rough things look. You are who you are. And so you call yourself and you see yourself the way that God sees you. You see yourself in places that God sees you, because people are going to tell you that you are not you're not worthy to be there. You're not educated enough to be there. You don't speak well enough to be there. You don't look a certain way, so you can't be there. You don't have the certain car to drive up to the space. You don't have the clothes to walk through those doors. But that's not so. God will put you where you need to be, and he will connect you with the people that you need to connect with in every season, right? And we have to remember that everybody doesn't go to every season with you, right? We have purpose in everybody's life, right? And so we go, and it doesn't mean that you may not connect again. It doesn't mean that you don't still love each other. It doesn't mean that you're not still important to each other, but God has to get us where we need to get to. And sometimes we can't take all the heavy loads and the heavy burdens and the heavy bags that people are trying to put on us. It's about knowing the capacity, right? And if you ask God what your capacity is, you ask God what you should say yes to and what you should say no to, who you should say yes to and who you should say no to. He will direct you. But we don't always ask because we have our own agendas. And our agendas may look good, right? But they have nothing on what God already has prepared for us. So I love you guys, and thank you for listening to what I've been filling up on this week. All right, so we're gonna go back to the comments. You guys, let me know that you're still there. We stopped getting comments, so I just want to make sure that everybody's still there. So I see the hearts coming in. So Tracy said, that's exactly where I'm at. I'm in the waiting period. And Tracy, continue to wait and be patient and be obedient in the waiting. Tell God, yes, I will wait, because what he has for us is way better than we can ever expect. Talked about it earlier this year, maybe last year. I popped on a Saturday, and there was someone that was trying to offer me something, and on the outside of it, it looked good. I'm like, you know what? That's something that I've been asking for. It's something that I've been wanting, right? And I should say yes to it. And God clearly spoke to me and said, that is a boat. They are trying to offer you a boat, and you need a ship. Right? We think too small because we don't think that something else better is coming, or that we may even be deserving of it. But I know that I need a ship, right? The boat is too small for me, not because of me, not because of anything that I'm doing, but because of who God is in me. Right? I need a ship because there's something bigger that's coming that he has me to do. And so I had to be patient in the waiting period, because what I wanted to do and what I thought was best for me, it wasn't. And so you be patient and you be thankful and you be gracious in that waiting period. LaShonda said, I filled up on peace, learning to let go and let God. And Shonda, we know that that could be something that is hard because we want to be in control of it, but just continue to trust God. I'm telling you, just trust him in all things. And sometimes we have to change the way that we do things. We have to change our environments. We have to change our situations in order for him to start moving. Right, we have to change our mindset about some things. So yes, learning this, we're not in control. I can tell you that from experience. There's nothing, whatever his will is, it's going to be. And so it's no use in trying to using up all that energy, because just go ahead and let go. Right, he already is. So just go ahead, and he's already working behind the scenes. He's already doing things, but we have to open our hearts and our minds, and we have to be willing, right, to allow him in. He's a gentleman, so he's not going to just force his way in and make you do things, make us do things. He gives us free will. But if you open that door, he's waiting right there to come in and to start moving and doing things on your behalf, on our behalf. Latoya said, and I should have been putting these things up here, but Latoya said, I filled up on knowing that I am in the land of the living, knowing that God continues to bless me and my loved ones with health and strength. This is a huge blessing we can't take for granted. I don't know what just happened. I'm sorry. I know you guys probably can't see me, but you can hear me. Not sure what just happened. I went out for a second. Absolutely, Latoya, and that's the thing, just filling up on life, right? Just understanding that life is so amazing. Just, continue to fill up on life, and just know that every day is a blessing from God. Every single day is a blessing. And Miss Donna, we talked a little bit about yours. Miss Donna said she filled up on peace all week, and just, yes, more God and less of me. The Bible tells us to decrease, right? And so the more that we decrease, the more people are able to see him in us, and he's able to continue to do what he's doing, right? Not behind the scenes, but he's able to show up, and allow us to produce. Paula says, okay, she says, seek God with every step that you take. Lucy said, mainly because your help has been established in the heavens. Absolutely. And then Paula said, I filled up on gratitude. Listen, it is nothing like just being thankful. People think that it has to be some big thing, right? That we have to be able to shout it across the world. This is what happened. But the life is a big thing, right? Just being thankful for everything that we have, for everything that we have and everybody that we have in our life. And so the every day, all throughout the day, I'm just breaking out with, Lord, I thank you. Right? I don't have to be like, Lord, I thank you for this. No, Lord, I thank you. I'm just showing my gratitude. You've been so gracious to me. Lord, I just thank you. Right? I just thank you for all things. Tracy said she filled up on the fact that I'm enough. Absolutely. God made us, we belong to him, and we are enough. He just wants us to walk in it, and he wants us to have relationship with him. God loves everybody. People no, God loves everybody. He doesn't love the things that we do all the time. He doesn't love the decisions that we make, but he loves us because he made us. And what he wants us to do is to repent, to accept him, to have relationship with him, to commune with him, and so that we can walk in the purpose that he made us for. He made us for a purpose, right? And we are enough. And all the things that the world tells us that we have to do and that we have to be, that is not so. All we have to do is be who God has called us to be, and that is enough. He's already made us enough. We don't have to add anything. We don't have to take anything away. We just have to have relationship with him. We have to commune with him. We have to be obedient. We have to follow his commandments, right? When he made us enough. He put everything in us that we need. We just have to learn how to just let it flow. And Paula again said, thanking God for those unexpected gifts. Yes, Paula got an unexpected gift this week, and I'm thankful, and she's thankful. Just walking in expectation. Because Paula said, she called me and said, this is my winning season, right? And so you have to walk in that expectation. And when she began to speak that out loud, and have expectation of what God was going to do for her, it happened just like that, right? And we could have been on the phone. She could have called and told me her good news, and it could have been all about what she did, but it wasn't. She called me thanking God and praising God and being gracious and showing gratitude for what He had done for her, right? And because that's my sister, that's my friend, I was so excited, right? And now I'm walking in expectation that the same thing that He did for her, that He's going to do for me, right? Because we know that He's able, right? We know that it's not by happenstance, it's not by crossing your fingers, it's not any of those things. It's because that is His will. That was His will for her. And so I'm walking in that same winning season that she walking in, right? I want to be able to call her and tell her the same thing. And that's why we have to celebrate with each other, right? We can't be jealous. We can't be mad. We can't start asking, well, God, you did it for him. Why do you do it for me? Well, God, you did it for her. Why didn't you do it for me? Listen, it just wants your time. It doesn't mean that it's never going to be your time, but it just wasn't your time right there. That was His time, or that was her time. And so you celebrate and you're thankful for all that God has done for the people that are connected to you, right? Because you're not connected to them by happenstance. You're connected to them because it's intentional, it's purposeful that you have that connection with that person. And so I'm thankful for the connections that He has made. And so that walk, that winning season that my sister friend is walking in, I'm claiming it on my life as well because I'm connected to her. Listen, I'm so thankful that you guys came on tonight. This has blessed my heart to see, just to see some people I haven't seen come on. My Aunt Ruth just popped on, and then Lucy said I filled up on godly thoughts. Absolutely, and we have to, because we have a way of of second guessing. We have a way of, all the time I know my brain is full, right? So I'm thinking all these things. And my mom says, girl, you got to slow down. You go too far. You're thinking too far ahead. Slow down. And so we do have to fill up on those godly thoughts. And so I'm learning. I'm not there yet, but I'm learning that when my brain starts to get too full, that I can just stop and say, God, I'm overwhelmed. But Lord, I thank you, right? And then we got to ask Him for clarity. And we got to ask Him what we need to do, because I know personally I can get overwhelmed. And most of the time it's because I'm overwhelming myself and I'm just asking and thinking, right? But my mom says, slow down, right? She says, slow down and don't get so excited and don't think so far ahead. You're doing too much. And sometimes I say, man, Mom, I'm getting off the phone, right? Because I'm still saying, but it's so much. But she's saying, just slow down, right? She's saying, allow God just to give you peace in your mind. You're doing too much. And sometimes we are doing too much. So yes, Lucy, filling up on those godly thoughts and letting the love and grace and peace of God just reign in there. Right. So I thank you for saying that, because I needed to be able to speak that out loud. So if no one else has anything else that they filled up on, Aunt Ruth, I see you on here, but you didn't say that you filled up on anything. And I saw Jeannie on here and she didn't say that she filled up on anything. I know it may be some other people watching. And I can't see you, but go ahead and jump in the comments if you want us to talk through what you filled up on tonight. Miss Donna said, you have been a blessing to me tonight. I was strolling and I found you. Just know that, I'm always thinking about you, even when, I don't call, especially this week. I didn't want to add any stress to you, but I've been thinking about you. I've been praying for you, Mr. Dave. I've been following it on Facebook just to see how everything's going. So God is so amazing, and I can't wait until he goes home so that he can sleep in his own bed and you guys can have some comfort. and just just being in the comfort of your own home. So you guys, I love you so much. I want to quickly talk about what we have coming up. I'm so excited about, and we didn't even get to the quotes this week, right? We just started talking about everything and we didn't get to the quotes, but we did talk it through a little bit. But I wanted to say that please do not forget about our 5-year anniversary that's coming up on Saturday, October the 21st. It's going to be in Norfolk, Virginia. It's the 5-year podcast anniversary. Jayspiration Live presents a night of celebration, beauty, boldness, and butterflies. So tickets are $35 and they can be purchased on Eventbrite. We also have some anniversary t-shirts that are available as well, and you can purchase those on Eventbrite. If you cannot make the event, but you want to purchase a ticket just to support, you want to purchase a ticket that we could possibly give away to someone else, or again, just to support Jayspirations Live, beauty, boldness, and butterflies, we would definitely appreciate it. But come out. It's a semi-formal event. The team, we are working so hard to make sure that you guys have a great night. Later this week, we will be introducing, well, next week, because tomorrow starts a new week, but next week we will be introducing all the folks that are on the program and what you can expect. But we're going to have poetry, motivational speaking, a comedian, some musical performances, and definitely good conversation. All the things that encompasses what Jayspiration Live stands for. So please come out, put it on your calendar, purchase a ticket. We only have a certain amount of tickets, and so once they are gone, they are gone. So please make sure that you purchase a ticket. This is not something that you want to hear about. This is an event that you want to experience. So make sure that you are in the building. You get to dress up. I mean, you always look pretty, but you get to dress up. A lot of us, we have not done that in a long time. So get your tickets, get your dress, come out and have a meal with us, laugh, sing, whatever you need to do, but come out and celebrate beauty, boldness, and butterflies. Again, we're butterflies. We were made to soar. We were made to fly. And even though that process is not pretty, a butterfly is always a butterfly, even when we see it as a caterpillar. A few more things as well. We have been, Mrs. J. Spire has been nominated again this year for an Achi Award. So excited about that. It's a prestigious magazine award. They do it every year, and I'm so excited about it. I had no idea I was nominated, and I opened up my email the other day, and there it was. So I'm telling you, God is so faithful. Even when we don't know that we're touching lives, we don't know who's watching us. Someone's always watching us, and we're always making a difference. And that's why we have to always be who we are. We can't turn it on and we can't turn it off. We have to be who we are, and we have to represent God at all times. So thank you to whoever, if anybody's watching, listening, may catch the replay, I don't know, but whoever nominated me for the Achi Award, I am so thankful. It was a huge surprise, and I'm just thankful for all the things that God is doing in my life and that He's doing for Jayspirations Live. I'm telling you, you don't even, sometimes you don't even know, how you end up in a place. And this time of my life, with so much going on, the way that God is just continuing to bless me, He just keeps showing up mighty in my life. And that's the reason and the why that I can continue to show up here on Friday nights and, other times when we are, doing what we do. And it's because God has been so good to me. The other thing that we are doing, and we are doing this next month, I have been invited to conversations over coffee with Susan and friends. The event is going to be Saturday, September the 9th from 4 to 6 p.m. There is a way to watch it on Zoom. And if you are in Roanoke, Virginia, you can actually attend in person. If you are interested in that information and you have my telephone number, you can call me or you can text me. If not, you can email jspirations@gmail.com, or you can also message me and I will get that information to you. You can register on Eventbrite. Again, it's called Conversations Over Coffee. Trying to look at all of it just so I can make sure. It's a Real Women, Real Talk presents Conversation Over Coffee with author Susan Key and friends. It is a free event. Again, it's from 4 to 6, and it is in Roanoke, Virginia. There will also be another special guest there. Her name is Kimberly D. Hart. She's the Winning Strategist author. Her book is Permission to Win, and she is from Washington, D.C. So I'm excited to be on that panel. And it's real talk and conversations over coffee. So I am excited to be a part of that. It was an honor to be invited, and so I cannot wait to have that conversation. So listen, I love you guys. If you want the information for Eventbrite for that event, just let me know and I'll make sure you get that. Like I said, if you can't be there in person, then you can watch it on Zoom, so you can register and then she will send you the Zoom link. All right, I love you guys. Please enjoy the rest of your night. Practice some self-care, spend some time with yourself, spend some time with God all throughout the day. Just like Paula said, just fill up on gratitude and take some time to tell God thank you. And like Lucy said, let those godly thoughts penetrate your mind. So when those other things try to come up against you, you could just say, Lord, I thank you. Right. Also this week, I think I posted something about it's people try to figure out your how, but it's really your who. And so I thank God that he gave that to me. And that's another t-shirt. It's not my how, because people try to figure out, how are you making it? How are you doing it? How is this happening for you? How are you functioning the way that you are based on what you are experiencing in life? And it's not my how. It is my who. And so I want you to put that in your heart as well. It's not your how, right? Because we're not able to do it. It's the who lives inside of us, that we're able to do all things and that we're able to move throughout our day and that things are happening and we're able to function and we're able to produce. It's the who. And so I thank God for my who tonight. I thank God that he is my who, right? So not so much what he has done for me, but who he is in my life that makes things happen, right? Because he's making it happen time after time after time after time. Hey, Whitney and Kenya. Whitney and Kenya popped on. Love you, ladies. Oh, thank you, Latoya. Also, see, these my Fill Up Friday faithfuls. They're watching to make sure I do what I need to do. Sunday at 5:30 p.m. There is a call for prayer that is also happening here in Norfolk, Virginia. If you were able to catch us on Wednesday night, I talked to Christy Copeland. Christy is one of my good girlfriends, and Christy, the Lord pricked her heart about praying for our children before they start school. You can go back and watch the video from Wednesday night. She talked about a dream that she had and just how it had been on her heart. You know, people just trying to come up against our children. And so on Sunday at 5:30, if you're not here in the Hampton Roads area, regardless of where you are at 5:30, just make sure that you take some time to pray. Pray for our children, pray for our teachers, pray for the school, the bus drivers, the cafeteria workers, anyone that comes in contact with the school, with the with the kids in that school building. We're just asking that you pray for them. We're going to pray for their safety. We're going to pray that they have a good school year. We just want to be praying because the enemy is busy. And we want to ensure that our children are covered. We know that he loves them. But we want to pray when we come together. The Bible says when two or more agree, right? And so we want to come together and we want to agree. We want to pray and we want to cover our children and the staff. August the 25th. No, why did I just say that? I'm sorry. The 28th, the 27th, I'm sorry. Covering our children in prayer. Prayer begins at 5:30 p.m. It is at Full Restoration Ministries on North Military Highway in Norfolk, Virginia. And so come out, bring your kids if you can. If you cannot be there, then at 5:30, just make sure that you are praying and you are coming into agreement as a lot of kids across the country are going back to school. So not just for the kids in Norfolk, not just for the kids in Hampton Roads, but we want to pray for our children all across the country and in other countries who are going back to school. We pray that God continues to cover them and that they too know that regardless of where they are, that they can pray. Nobody can stop them from praying. It doesn't have to be out loud, but they can always pray and come in connection with God all throughout their day, wherever they are. And so that's what we want to plant seed in them, to know that God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly, and to cover them and to take care of them. So thank you, Latoya, for that. If you are in the Hampton Roads area and you want some more information, again, just inbox me and I will get you the address to that event. So Latoya, did I miss anything else? I've been on here a long time tonight, but y'all, as my pastor say, y'all been a good class. So if not, if all minds and hearts are clear, then we are going to end Fill Up Friday for tonight. Again, thank you guys so much for coming on and being a part of this. If you are catching the replay, thank you so much. You can still comment. We try to go back and look at those comments so that we can respond and we can encourage. So I love you guys. I hope to see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock for Fill Up Friday live. I hope to get an email soon that you have purchased your tickets for the 5-year anniversary. Hope to see your name on the roll. And I really hope that you guys are practicing self-care and that on Sunday night at 5:30 that you are praying. I love you guys. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, be J-Spired.